Name of DeVell Stevenson. He's a black male, 39.
Again, police are looking for DeVell Clarence Stevenson. If you are listening, you are urged to turn yourself in because the fact that Marcus was found safe is not going to make this go away.
We gotta find him. Should nobody be parked? We gotta get up and go.
It was an agonizing search for 5-year-old Marcus Pruitt. For 14 hours, family and friends joined police in trying to find the little boy whose mother reported him missing around 10:30 last night from their home on St. Mary's near 7 Mile on Detroit's west side.
This is still my son. He ain't biologically mine. This is my boy. This is my son, brother. I gotta be there for that boy, period.
Then just before noon today, police released this video of Marcus from a neighbor's Ring doorbell to show the clothes he was wearing, while they announced they were looking to talk to a person of interest in the case, a man on a red moped who was also seen talking to Marcus yesterday.
We're getting information that the kid was somewhat, or the missing child is somewhat enamored with the moped that he was on. The person of interest was riding a red moped, and the kid in question was somewhat enamored with it and possibly sitting on it at some point.
Then moments after 12 noon came the 911 call that Marcus could be found a mile away on Stahalin near 7 Mile.
He was sitting on the front porch as the officers arrived here from number 8. Apparently the people at the home, I guess they saw you guys' footage, news footage on television, and then they put the information out. They called 911.
And again, Detroit police looking for this man. Again, his name is DeVell Clarence Stevenson. He's 39 years old, and we're told he stands 5 feet 4 inches tall. He is the suspect in the kidnapping of 5-year-old Marcus Pruitt. DeVell going from a person of interest this afternoon now to the suspect in that case. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you're urged to call Detroit police right away. Also call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP. But this man needs to be found. Back to you.
Well, the state's chief medical director for Medicaid is on administrative leave after accusations of overprescribing and improperly prescribing opioids. Dr. David Neff runs a part-time medical practice. A complaint filed with the Department of Licensing and Regulatory Affairs accused him of prescribing opioids in high doses to patients that carried significant risks. He's also accused of failing to consistently use drug screens to monitor patients' use of opioids. Today is the deadline for him to file a response to the complaint against him. He will remain on leave until the complaint is resolved.
The big story, bracing for impact.
President Trump's new tariffs on Mexico is going to hit Metro Detroit hard.
First, as you go to the store, you could pay more for tomatoes, avocados, lettuce, berries, even beer, and many other items.
Expect the price of new cars to rise, and this could be devastating to Detroit automakers. Analysts say those tariffs will cost Ford, GM, and Fiat Chrysler billions of dollars. The news sending auto stocks tanking.
Our big story coverage begins with 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell, who's live in Detroit to show us how this will impact us at the store. Kim?
You know, I went shopping here at Harbortown Market in Detroit, taking a look at what items in the produce aisle and throughout the store are imported from Mexico. And of course, there's the things you'd expect like avocados, limes, and Mexican beer, but there's also things you might not think of like watermelon. This watermelon was imported from Mexico. Now the question is, will people who are selling this be able to get it from somewhere else? Or will they have to pay that tariff and also you pay that tariff? At Harbortown Market on Jefferson in Detroit, they label exactly where their produce comes from. So when manager Philip Brown heard that the president, Donald Trump, threatened on Twitter a 5% tariff or fee to buy goods from Mexico, he knew exactly what products could be impacted.
Like your avocados, sometimes your pears, depending on what it is. Sometimes even some of your salads, depending on what's in it, they come from Mexico. Some of the different fruits for exotic fruit trade and things like that, we might feel a little pinch there. In the past, tariffs have not only led to an increase in price, but sometimes countries targeted simply decide to sell elsewhere. Sometimes they even stop sending items. And goods from Mexico are not just in the produce aisle at your local grocery store. Of course, there is beer, alcohol, and pop that is made or bottled in Mexico. A lot of the major pop companies, they have bottling companies there. So that means probably your favorite glass beverage that comes from Mexico, the price of that is probably going to go up.
It's only going to cost us. I don't see how it's helping America.
Rhonda Rogers, a shopper out today, says she decides what to buy based on price and her budget. She says she cannot afford any increase in the cost of her groceries.
Vegetables and things are already high, and it's just going to get worse.
I was talking to wholesalers today who buy produce and sell it to grocery stores, and they tell me, you know what, there's one bit of good news. During the winter months, they buy a whole lot more from Mexico, but right now, with it being summer, they're able to get more from the U.S. and Canada, so that could ease the impacts for a while. But if the president does follow through on this tariff threat and it goes on for a while, expect to pay even more at the grocery store. Reporting live, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
All right, thank you, Kim.
Yeah, those stakes are high, and again, the tariffs would hit the entire automotive industry hard and could affect jobs right here in Metro Detroit.
They come at a time when the Trump administration is trying to finalize the deal to replace the North American Free Trade Agreement. But we want to hear from you. Should President Trump follow through with plans to slap new tariffs on goods from Mexico? Let
us know what you think right now on our website, WXYZ.com/vote. Meanwhile, 7 Action News reporter Jim Kurtzner has more on the big picture and the billions of dollars at stake.
Ford, GM, Fiat Chrysler will not directly criticize the president, but auto industry experts and analysts say here they are stuck again right in the middle of his conflicting policies.
Autos is going to be a big target in the crosshairs here, obviously, and the administration has stated as much.
President Trump is bootstrapping his fight against immigrants coming into the U.S. across the southern border with the new tariffs against Mexico. Remember, in March, he threatened to close the border to trade in a similar fight.
We're closing the border. They'll close it, and we'll keep it closed for a long time. I'm not playing games.
Trump later changed his mind and did not follow through.
That would be an extreme burden on the not only Michigan suppliers, but on the whole automotive landscape here in North America. Just across the Mexico border a day, there's some $200 million in auto imports across core and principal parts that come into the U.S.
The Center for Automotive Research says last year alone, $113 billion in auto parts were imported into the U.S. from Mexico, and $36 billion in exports sent back to Mexico.
The time has come for the United States-Mexico-Canada agreement.
Last month, Vice President Mike Pence came to Metro Detroit to rally support for the new U.S.-MCA trade agreement to replace NAFTA. It was well on its way to being finalized on both sides of the border, but now more potential chaos for the auto industry.
From a certain point of view here, it obviously is going against all those reforms that Mexico had promised under USMCA.
Trump's policies can change very quickly, and many are hoping that will be the case again this time. In Dearborn, Jim Kurtzner, 7 Action News.
All right, thank you, Jim. For more on how these proposed tariffs could directly impact your wallet, please head to WXYZ.com.
Tonight, we're kicking off a new series called 7 in Your Neighborhood.
Each and every Friday, we'll be reporting live from a neighborhood at Metro Detroit, featuring the events and the people in your community.
Tonight, Glenda Lewis joins us live in Livonia from the Michigan Fun Fest at St. Mary's Orthodox Church. So, Glenda, lots of excitement happening out there this evening.
Fish? You want a dolphin? So exciting, Alan and Heather. I'm trying to make my dad proud here, who's an angler. Oh, you beat me. You got 3 fish. But this weekend-long festival is really, truly a staple in the community. It has been for 10 years. And this festival in itself helps families in the community. I mean, all of the fun, but still going back into caring for the people who live here.
Glenda, you're 100% right, it does. You know, we take the proceeds from this festival and we give back Senior Citizen Home, Head Start's a part of this, a lot of different organizations. So it's a great event. It started this Thursday and goes till Sunday night with lots of great entertainment.
Freddie Sackla, this is who's joining me now, and he's the organizer of this festival. And there's food, there's fun, games, but there's also live entertainment starting tonight.
There is. There's amazing food, carnival food, barbecue, Middle Eastern food, and entertainment starts tonight with Audrey Ray. She's the beginning, and it goes on Saturday. We have 11 live entertainers. You'll see it on our website.
And it's cultural as well and related to the church.
It is. You know, the wonderful part about this is it brings the whole community together. We have amazing bands like Your Generation singing oldies and pop. We have country music going. We have Middle Eastern music at night. Honestly, it's a beautiful way to join, celebrate culture.
And this will help to go toward building that adult senior center, including the children play area. All the proceeds here that families are able to put in, they get it back.
They do. That's exactly the whole point of this. We purchased land now, we're drawing a site plan. The whole entire point of this is to give back to the community. So,
up and comer, country star Audrey Ray, she's taking the stage, but before she does, we're gonna break bread on some of this delicious food here at the fair, and you'll meet her at 5:30. So I'm live in Livonia, back to you guys.
Yeah, so many different things to do out there this weekend, and it looks like the weather will be pretty decent as well. All right, Glenda, thank you.